This is Chasing Retro, and I wanted to show you guys my completed My Little Pony slash 80s themed junk journal that I just finished. This is my first large junk journal I've ever made. Normally mine are the little golden book size or smaller, so this was quite an undertaking for me, but I was excited about the way it turned out. This is a little tassel that I made. Thank you to YouTube for all the tutorials on how to make things. It's just amazing what you can learn, huh? This is just a variety of plastic beads and ribbons and dyed seam binding and rickrack and pom-poms and things like that. I just did a simple ribbon to tie this, just because I don't know if my recipient is going to want to leave it like this or tied up. I didn't want to put any holes in this cover. So this is just fabric, I think it's called batik fabric, that I got at Joann's as a little fat quarter on the outside. I found this book at, I believe it was thriftbooks.com. So this is the little library card pocket and a list of things for the recipient to use in order to fill their junk journal, just some ideas. There are 3 signatures in here. Pretty heavy, pretty thick, but not overly thick. I was pleased with the size that it turned out to be. A lot of the books that are in here are vintage children's books. There's some Sesame Street. I took a part of My Little Pony Touch and Feel book and just tucked some pages in here. This is from a Don Freeman children's book that I just love the pictures in. My husband actually designed this rainbow stationery for me because I couldn't find a free version of exactly what I wanted, so put a lot of that in here. This is from a Pound Puppies storybook. Wallpaper. This is a collage. Collages, I think, is my favorite thing to do in a junk journal. I've been making collages since I was about 12. I just love it. And this is a cool way to fill the back of a wallpaper page, I think. This is just a Kool-Aid ad that I printed. Graph paper. This is actually from a souvenir book that I got when I went to the Ringling Brothers Circus when I was about 3. Just scanned it in and shrunk it down. This is a dictionary page pocket and a picture of a Barbie magazine and a Toys R Us ad. I'm sorry, KB Toys ad from the 80s. Care Bear stationery. Dyed Kool-Aid for the first time on paper. This is an old music book. This is actually the cover page of the My Little Pony book. This is just some paper that I was playing around with bubble wrap and acrylic paint. This is not vintage. This is actually new notebook paper that I found at, I believe it was Mardell.com. This is some free rainbow stationery I find. These are vintage stamps from the 80s and 90s for Olympic Games. An Oreo ad from a comic book from the 80s. I need to put a link in my description. There are a few comic sites that you can go to and look at and download and print vintage comics, and a lot of them are scanned in complete with the ads. So there's a lot of this type of stuff if you're looking for 80s type, all the way back to the 60s and before, but a lot of cool 80s interactive ads. I'm sure you guys remember the Little Miss and Mr. Books. This is a Never Ending Story tag and Rainbow Bright tag or journaling card. Some more Kool-Aid paper, handwriting paper, Berenstain Bears, This is actually probably early 90s, but this is from a New Kids on the Block scrapbook that I found at an antique store. Some My Little Pony ads that I found and printed. Little card. This is actually a pocket from those yes and no answer books with the secret magic pen. I don't know if you guys remember those. They've been around forever. But we always had these on car trips. Flashcard, paint chips, stamped paper. Middle of the signature, I just put some little circles that I used, die cut a daisy shape and then put a star sticker in the middle. Fabric tag, this is from a set of old sheet strips that I got on Etsy a while back, and a little 80s plastic bead. I dyed some doilies that was really hard. They come apart really easily in water, so I don't know how many more of these I'm gonna do. That was quite frustrating. This is just a Kool-Aid dyed lace belly band. There's an envelope that I made. 80s playing card. This is from another one of those comic books, letters to Barbie, just that kids wrote in. This is a movie poster from one of my favorite movies as a kid, the Care Bears movie. This is a book page pocket. It's got a journaling card with shampoo for swimming. I think everyone used that. And toaster strudel packaging. Oop. Oh, I didn't skip one. This is just a paper sack. And I do not know where I found these, but someone had made these little fashion plates, printables for, I think it was for a party invite, so I just printed those. I wish I still had my fashion plate set. I got rid of mine years ago, but I would love to have it back. I don't know why I got rid of it. This is a Jello Gelatin Pop ad. We've got Gem and the Holograms and Cabbage Patch ad. Some more Kool-Aid paper. Rainbow Bright book. Not many people remember Poochie when I talk about her. She was one of the lesser characters, but she was one of my favorites. And this is actually just an envelope, like a birthday card envelope that I put a pocket on the front of. Not pocket. Shaker card envelope. Just another ad for shampoo. Babysitter's Club tuck spot. Little bell. I got an 80s magazine that I just pulled tons of ads for. I love this patio furniture. My parents had some very much like this. Smurf book. A glassine bag. I got a bunch of Mrs. Grossman stickers at a yard sale, and I'm about at the end of my stash, and this is one of the confetti streamer ones. This is a quilting square from the 80s, and a Danskin ad from a JCPenney catalog. Wrapping paper. Sanrio. I'm sure you guys remember the orange Dixie cups, or maybe it was Solo cups. And here is an ad for Skittles belts that you could order. Rose Petal Place. And this is just a little note sheet. This is from a vintage music textbook. Barbie coloring book. Tracing paper. Richard Scarry. My grandmother gave me a bunch of these first issue postcards. This one's from 1989. And this is just a jelly shoe ad that I put on a index card. This is a strawberry envelope, and this is a Holly Hobby calendar page. This is a Disney Channel morning lineup that I found and printed. Guest check, a very old legal pad sheet. Just some more journaling cards that I made. This is a McDonald's birthday party ad. Another My Little Pony touch and feel book with some other ad images that I found. And this is one of the first songs I'm sure we all learned how to play on piano, so I had to put that in there. Bonkers Candy ad. Snoopy and Woodstock. You can't have an 80s journal without Snoopy. This is the Hart Family paper doll set. I actually bought these off of Etsy. They were like $1.99. There's a seller on there who sells a bunch of vintage paper dolls, and she had the Hart Family, so that was exciting. I printed it on, the people are on cardstock, and the clothes I printed on presentation paper, so they're that slick, thinner. It's almost just like the original paper doll. This is just some little slips of paper I found for free to go in this bag. Another ad from the 80s magazine. This is a fabric pocket from that Batik. A Kool-Aid ad. I got this tutorial on how to make this from Lace Covered Skies on YouTube, and this is just an image from a very 80s craft book, and I thought the image was just amazing and wanted to use it in a special way, so this envelope fit the bill. Pocket with a vintage sheet ruffle. Another pony tag, flashcard, Hello Kitty origami paper, Rainbow Bright, Kool-Aid paper. Of course, you have to have She-Ra and glittery ribbon. I would have covered the whole thing in glitter if I could have, believe me. This is another ad from the comic books online. We've got a page from the one of the Gremlins series books. My Buddy coloring book and Kid Sister. A fabric flip. This is just a piece of eyelet that I found at a thrift store. Safety pin turned into a little letter charm, and this is another sheet. This is a double pocket with the little cat poster we all saw hanging in our orthodontist office, and the picture of the little necklace. I wish I had not given that away as well. I regret giving away so many of my 80s toys. This is from a Cabbage Patch book with real pictures, which was really a neat find. A Babysitter's Club book page, another ad. Care Bears comic, textured wallpaper. This is a Care Bear book that was actually a coloring book, storybook, and when I bought it at a yard sale, it was already colored in, but I just love it. It's priceless. This is just a little tri-pocket, a little slide with a picture of a playground from the 80s, a little confetti tag, and another game card. And this is just a tassel on a bulb pin. The tassel came from Michael's. Another pony card and a scratch and sniff sticker. Slush puppy. I'm sure you guys remember those. The Kids on the Block. I only put one recipe page in here, but it's a frozen fruit salad recipe. Showbiz Pizza Place. Don't you love it how sometimes you unintentionally match something on the opposite page? I love when that happens. That's a sad picture. This is a just a scrapbook page. Most of my scrapbook paper comes from Michael's, a few from Joann's, and a few from Hobby Lobby. But Michael's is probably my top source. It's the one closest to my home. This is just from a book, a journal that I tore apart to use in my junk journals. This is actually not vintage, but it's been around forever. So when my daughter was done with this pack of gum, I glued the wrapper in here. This is a wallpaper border pocket. Moon Dreamers. I had a Moon Dreamer lunchbox when I was in the 3rd grade. And this is actually a scan from a birthday card that I kept from when I was 10 or 11. I just love it, the colors. E.T. Strawberry Shortcake. Sparkle. It's just this little tag that I made with some letter beads, and I put a little journaling page on the back of that wallpaper. This is an ad for Sharp Electronics, which is amazing to see how far we've come to look at these and to remember how expensive some of these used to be. Some more Cabbage Patch. This is a Strawberry Shortcake comic page to turn into an envelope. Pillow Pals, a little book that I made using a Cricut book cover, and I found this online. It was a scan, just a little fold out of Hello Kitty. Little tag. Another 80s stamp. Serendipity book tag, Care Bears, and that is it. Another thing that I'm going to add to this journal, I'm attaching a personal letter, and my husband actually gave me this idea. I'm going to glue down 2 QR codes that I have made. One takes you to a link that is an 80s television set, and you can watch ads or movie previews or cartoon segments from the 80s. You can switch the channel and things like that. Is super cool. And the other one is just an 80s YouTube playlist that I made, mostly of parts of cartoons or cereal ads or doll ads and things like that. Just things that I thought, and some music videos that I thought would be fun. That I'm not going to do that for all of my journals, but for the 80s, I thought it'd be a really neat interactive thing to add on. But that's it. I had so much fun making this one, and I have another one all set to go that I'm going to keep for myself. It's a Strawberry Shortcake book. She was my favorite character growing up, so I was going to try to do both at the same time, but quickly realized that the mess I was creating in my house, just making one, would have been probably doubled. So I decided to get this one done first, and then I can start on the other one. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.